To me.
No,
Hello. Sorry. It's so cold. We forgot we were doing a podcast.
we're frozen.
Hello, and welcome to the Sunday Soul Search, episode 8. Can you believe that? Episode
Wow.
8, and the subscribers are creeping up.
They are.
Still not enough. Come
Even
on.
my other half has subscribed.
Oh, wow. Come
Bless
on.
him.
Come on. I'll try to get the cats and dogs to do it. I don't know if they can. But yeah, so episode 8. Welcome.
And just quickly, subscribing to this channel does not cost you anything. It is not going to rob your bank account of any money. That you just get to see the lovely us, which is just a pleasure in itself, really.
And we are in a different location again. We might keep trying this out for size.
Yeah.
But we're not sure about the colour, so we'll see how it comes out.
So we are actually in my house today, and we are in my healing room, which is a bit funky, hence the funkiness behind. You've got the painters in.
I've got the decorators in. There's been a saying for that, but yeah, definitely not for that. So we had to vacate our premises. Maybe on location again next week, actually. But anyway, let's not mess around with because when they go to edit it, their editor go, remove this. It's just
waffle.
So today's episode, we thought we were going to talk about weight.
And not a long weight.
And we know that is a sore subject, and we know that a lot of people struggle with their weight. A lot of people are feeling inferior with all the stuff that's on social media or the posts that make you feel that you should be this and look like this and look like that. So, but we thought a lot of that, although that comes from actual your self-awareness and how you look, we think weight still is a massive factor in there, because there are people that are small and still think they're overweight, and there are people that's overweight like myself that think I'm still small. That is a joke, and I am doing it about myself in case anyone comments. So we thought we'd talk about weight because it is quite a delicate subject. And with the approach to Christmas, people are going to be worried about their weight and trying to get into their little black dress, either for their work do or their New Year's Eve party. Or they're going to think, oh, so I'll just eat everything and worry about it in January. And then come January, we'll talk about diets. No, we're joking. But it is a massive issue, isn't it? And it's a massive consumer issue. I think that's why we want to talk about weight.
Absolutely. And I mean, it goes in under so many parts of an umbrella, doesn't it? I mean, you've got the mental health side, the reason why you might be overeating or undereating. We'll kick this off with one of my stories, shall we? So anyway, back a good few years back now, I met my partner about 10-ish, 11 years ago now. And when I met him, I was probably the similar weight as I am now. However, a year or two in our relationship, me and him went out. I've always had stomach issues. So I've always had irritable bowel type issue things going on, which, were just by the by. So many people have, haven't they? Anyway, me and my partner went out one night for a beer and burger in a bowling, whatever you want to call it.
There's a lot of bees
all the bees. Anyway, we both got food poisoning that night, and he was sick for a day, the old at both ends. And I was really, really poorly. And it's almost like from that moment, everything crashed down. So my everything crashed down. My weight crashed down. My mental health crashed down. My stomach. I was eating like I had never seen food before, literally piles of food. And even my daughter at one point, and the rest of society around me, all thought I had an eating disorder at the time. Now, this is before I knew you, wasn't it? So you didn't probably see me at my super skinniest. But within about 3 weeks, I had lost a considerable amount of weight. When I say considerable, probably about something like 1.5 stone. Now, I'm 5'6" and quite a slimmish build anyway, and I was looking more and more emaciated. My daughter even didn't believe that I ate anything, and it wasn't until we'd gone on a holiday to Turkey with my partner and my stepdaughter and the family that actually my daughter said, "How the hell are you eating that much food and look like that?" I was like a skeleton, literal walking skeleton. Like I said, I had so many people asking me if I was seriously ill. One person asked if I had cancer. One person apart from my daughter semi-joking about me having a serious eating disorder, I was starting to think that, there's something seriously wrong. Even my hair started falling out, not in great big lumps, but I washed my hair, like tons of hair was falling out into the bath. I felt so self-conscious. It was unreal. Apart from the fact I felt ill, apart from the fact that it was eating piles of food and literally going right through. The amount of stigma from that was unreal. The amount of criticism, perhaps, or, are you not eating? You need to eat some more pies. You need to eat some more this. You need to eat more that. Well, yeah. Been to the doctor however many times. I mean, over a 13, 14-month period, I was at the doctor almost twice, every other week. And they're saying they did my bloods, they did this, they did that, said nothing's wrong. Am I stressed? Am I depressed? Well, I wasn't stressed or depressed from any other reason than the fact that I was ill and nobody could tell me why. But looking back, I think I'd obviously then realised through a locum doctor, that I had celiac disease. They couldn't end up testing me because had to stop eating gluten altogether when I realised. And funnily enough, I did my tarot cards and I said, have I got celiac disease? Because I'm like reading everything in a medical dictionary there. And it came out, everything was no, no, no. And that one was a firm yes. And so I said, right, to the doctor, could I have like something wrong where like what I'm eating, a food intolerance or what have you? And it was only one doctor that actually listened. And she said, you've got every single sign in the book. And she showed me of celiac disease. So, but from there, and being really skinny and getting really used to being skinny, I almost had a real, what was it called when it's the word where you think you're bigger than you are? Like you're skinny and dysmorphia.
Well, that's a psychological.
But that's what came from it.
So you can have dysmorphia where you see a total. It's not about weight. It's about everything. It's about everything. Your hair color, your eyes, everything.
Oh no, this was more
because you
about
see your body as
my
just
body weight.
So bulimia is the food when you make yourself sick after you've eaten, and because you think you're overweight but you actually usually are overweight with bulimia. And then you've got the anorexic, which is the other way where you don't eat at all and you end up getting really, really, really small. So I don't know.
I think it was
sort of sitting between bulimia and body dysmorphia.
And because I was eating tons, I could eat anything. And everyone was saying, how can you eat all that and stay that thin? And it was obviously because my body was still in a recovery. But I almost got to the point where I was then, even though I was eating a lot and I was still skinny, I had this massive fear of being big again and bigger. I mean, I was only ever...
So it's more, that is just more psychological.
Yeah.
In general, because body dysmorphia is a really big condition.
Oh yeah, but I was definitely sketching on the edge of it. But I think, and then when I started, actually my body recovered and started obviously behaving itself, after I realised all the things I couldn't eat, I've now got back to a healthy weight. But I still feel big because I spent so many years skinny.
She keeps up, and that does annoy me.
But it's in your head.
When you're sitting next to
Biggie
Biggie and she's going that she's still got big gut, people look at her and have to roll their eyes in displeasure.
But in my head,
disbelief or annoyance. I'm not sure which one we roll our eyes in. We'll let you know at a later date.
In my head, I am still like in that mode where, I don't want to get any bigger than that.
See, I know I'm overweight, and I know my weight has always fluctuated ever since I first got pregnant with my first child, and he's 36. Because I was a size 10, not much of a shape. I was slim, and I was a size 10. And I noticed my skirt was getting tight. In the days of the old pencil skirt, and I thought, that's getting a bit tight. If I do it a bit, and then 16 weeks later, when they said you're pregnant, and I went, what? And I was 16 weeks pregnant. I thought, no wonder it's tight. And then I blew up quite quickly, and then I went down. I stopped, and then I blew up right at the end of pregnancy. From then on, my weight was an issue, and my mum had a weight issue after childbirth. And I know people go, it's because you're lazy. I don't think when you have a child, you're lazy.
Gosh, no.
What you do though, is grab moments of when you can sit down for 5 minutes and you probably can, and you shove the wrong thing in your mouth. It's better than trying to eat prep yourself lunch. So I think for me, an eating disorder sort of started there because I wasn't eating nutritiously. I wasn't eating properly. I was always feeding everyone else and not myself. But my weight fluctuated. But like I said, my mum's dead. So it's probably a genetic thing as well. Probably hormonal when you look, because I had endometriosis, and obviously that massively affected my weight. And when I really had it bad, I went from a 12, 14, comfortable size as well, to an 18, 20 in 4 months.
Is that because of hormones then?
Just went escalated, and it went to and I actually looked like the Michelin woman, looked like someone who got a bike pump, pumped me out, and I thought, right out. And I felt it. Everything felt tight and swollen.
I shouldn't laugh. It was
So
just funny.
even now, I know I'm overweight now. After having my surgery a couple of years ago, I lost quite a bit of weight because I had to for the surgery, and it's gradually come on. But obviously, with disability with my legs, I'm very less mobile than I
Mm.
can be. So although I try, I can't get about, as you know, and I can't walk, and I can't walk around no more, and I couldn't walk my dog no more. Bless him till he passed. So my lack of oxygen and movement was reducing. When I tore the meniscus in my current, what I used to call good leg, in my right leg, so I've now got two legs that are out of action really, I found my oxygen levels were really struggling, and then I couldn't go to yoga because how do you cross, you could cross one leg, now I can't cross two. So just knocking yoga off, my weight started creeping up again.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I do eat still the wrong thing sometimes, but I try and eat. I home cook, you know that. I don't buy a lot of processed. I buy cuts down things like McDonald's and that. But I'm sometimes cooking it and not wanting to eat it.
So, and this is probably the big question. Do you feel too big because you and your skin feel too big, or do you
So
feel too
no,
big because of
this is what
society?
I was going to get at. I'm sitting here now and I feel reasonably comfortable. I don't feel any. The only area of my body at this moment that feels tight and bloated is my kneecap to my broken leg. And
Mhm.
as you know, it's badly damaged. It's a little bit deformed. It's not the prettiest of legs. And every now and again, especially when it's cold or I'm tired or I've had extra stress on it, which I have because obviously my other leg
Mm.
is in pain, the knee swells and gets a little bit disshaped and it tightens. And that's the only area of my body I can honestly say is tight at the moment. My shoes are loose on my feet, which is actually a telltale sign when you have put on weight because I used to say I can
Yeah,
always
you
have.
get fat feet.
But I always said I could have shoes and handbags wasn't a
I thought
problem
you
when
would
I
say
was overweight. Yeah,
Chewbacca. I thought, what's that
Chewbacca.
about?
If Kerry's watching, she'll laugh at that because that's what she calls me. But yeah, that's wrong because actually it's only handbags you can have, and that's because your feet actually do swell. Not a lot, but they
Mm,
swell more
mm.
than width. But my shoes are quite loose on me, which I struggle getting on anyway with my stupid legs. But I feel comfortable. I don't feel bloated. I've got no bloatiness going on. I'm quite good with keeping my stomach digested anyway. I mean, obviously, I'm a vitamin technician and a therapist in that way.
Mm.
But I look at pictures of myself and I do try and wear the right clothes for my shape
Oh,
and
you do.
size.
I think you dress very well.
Thank you.
No, but you
I'll
do.
pay you later.
No, the outfit she has on at the moment, which she's obviously not flashing the whole outfit.
I'm
Is a
looking very
brown
trendy.
faux
Black
leather top. Was they
leathers.
black?
They're
Wasn't they
black
brown?
leathers with
Oh,
brown
black.
riders and brown
But a very
jumper.
nice way. The way you wear things, nicely.
But I've always thought just because I'm fat doesn't mean I have to look horrible.
Yeah, but do you? Because you know, like when, because people are judgmental. I mean, as much as we try, we might have the odd moment. I think we're probably very judgmental as people. You know, like when, do you know what made it for me as well? Like when you go on holiday and you've got people of all ages, right? And you've got those ones that are probably really quite slim, and over conscious about their weight, who have got a t-shirt on over their swimming costume because they're conscious about it, even though there's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. And then you've got some people who are, well, let's say what would be if you measured your BMI and you measured your I don't know, your weight for your height, etc., etc.
But I don't believe in that anyway.
Well, no, because a rugby player is going to be full of meat
Yeah.
and muscle, but they probably end up with like their BMI being sky high when actually they're very fit. So it is actually total crap.
Well, I do. I've trained in diet nutrition. I just haven't taken up my own advice. And I know that is not everybody's body makeup, everyone's size. Like you said, height, build, bone mass, everything's
Yeah.
different. I've got a friend that was quite a lot overweight, but she still went running and went to the gym. She was more fit than me.
Oh, yeah. I've
So,
got loads of people that are more fit than I am. Can't walk up the stairs.
so it's, that's,
But when you go on holiday, there's so many people that just don't care. So they might care maybe, but I can honestly say that in Tenerife last month, there were so many people that just were happy. They were having a lovely time. They were eating what they wanted. They were wearing bikinis. They didn't care that they'd got a whole rack of stretch
but
marks
see, I think,
and things
were
like
they,
that.
this is where I think, are
But,
they happy?
but surely if you weren't somehow accepting, you wouldn't wear a bikini.
Well,
'Cause I
I
wouldn't.
won't. I haven't worn a bikini since I was 21 when I had my son. But
Mhm.
I do wear my swimsuit, and obviously when I went away earlier in the year, I was bigger than I have been. My damaged leg has very much lost its elasticity. So at the top, it's got a bit of a hanging going on with it. It sounds lovely if anyone's visualising it. At the cellulite's worse, and that's got nothing to do with my genetics. Just the way the leg mass went, there was no movement on it for absolute months.
Yeah,
I
plus
had
you're
to
probably
learn to walk. Yeah, I had to
overcompensating
learn
on
to
another
walk
leg.
back on it.
Mm.
So that leg is a little bit I don't like it. And then the veins started coming out because of the pressure that was put on my body on one leg. So that leg's now really badly veined because I had to walk on one leg.
Mm, mm.
So I'm actually more conscious of that, not my weight. But I would have been conscious of my weight even when I was slim years ago. This is why I think sometimes age and, oh, do I care? But I think truthfully, yeah, if I would love to lay on a sunbed and look a little bit better than I do, but I will still wear my swimming costume. I don't put a t-shirt on. I do put a cover up on to walk back into the hotel or somewhere like that. But I will lay on my bed, get in and out the pool, get in and out the sea.
Mm.
Well, not so much these days because I can't get in and out of it. But there's a whole nother story. I'm
Yeah.
59 and I think, do you know what? You're on holiday, so you're just going to suck it up. 59, not 29. So it
Mm.
doesn't matter that I look like that. And if anyone's offended by that, I don't care because, I'm 59. I'm not a goddess. So
You are?
well, I am, but in a different way. But
Yeah.
I try, so I just get on with it because it's not going to ruin my holiday. As a youngster, when I was definitely smaller, that would have ruined my holiday. I would have been conscious of how curvy my friends were. But this is what I was saying about how I'm sitting in now comfortable. I'm quite
Mm.
comfortable. We went away for the weekend. I was quite comfortable in all my outfits, loved all my outfits. And then I looked at our demonstration we did that someone done a video and a screenshot of us, and I looked at myself on that stage and thought, well, I just think the trousers and the top was making me not, I wasn't looking pretty. I was looking a little bit
With
on
what you
the I
had
was
on?
looking a bit on the wide side, but again, cameras and things make you look bigger anyway. But
Yeah, yeah.
I did look at it and thought on the night I felt really comfortable in those
Mm.
clothes. Maybe
What
that's
did you
why
wear?
I wore black flared trousers with a silver metallic
Oh,
top.
you looked nice that night.
And I decided to put a boot with a slight heel on because I had steps to get up on and up the stage because I can't get on and up the stage without my sticks.
Mm.
So, and again, I try to make people think that I'm not disabled at the best of times,
No,
but then
no, I know.
behind the
Yeah.
scenes, I am quite shit. I can't even get in and out of the car sometimes. But
Watching her get in a hot tub was
but
actually the funniest
but
bit.
isn't that where we all look at our bodies then, like you said? Because I was all weekend I was quite happy.
Mm.
We were sharing a caravan with lots of other people. Not lots of other people. It's a caravan, not a great big
Well, actually, there
holiday
was
bus.
how
But there
many?
was five
Five
of
of
us.
us in a
I
caravan.
was not bothered about that. I wasn't bothered about sitting in my vest top and my leisure things when we went back. I wasn't bothered about anything I wore. I loved everything I wore. I took a look at that photograph and even the one when we were sat the night before when you were all dancing, and I thought, you're looking a bit big. Now, I've obviously big busted as
I
well, so
thought
that
that
makes me
I
look
looked
bigger.
quite porky, but then I had a nice time looking
Yeah,
back and think,
but that's what I'm saying. You certainly didn't. But now you can see why people do look at themselves and think, I don't like that. What can I change?
yeah,
Sometimes I
yeah.
don't like my hair, but my hair's curly. I can't do anything with it.
Again, I don't. Your hair is you.
But my hair does what it wants.
Yeah.
One day my hair might part in the middle, and one day it might part in the side, and one day it's just doing what it wants. So my hair has its own mind. It curls whichever way it wants to curl when I wash it. So we are conscious of lots of
Mm.
things. And I think, but weight is the most talked about because the consumers are hitting people with weight issues because they're putting the sugary stuff at the front. I know they tax like drinks and stuff, but there's still plenty of other things you can eat that's got sugar in
Well,
them.
it's not just sugar, is it? I mean, it is. If you're going to live on McDonald's and fries,
Sugar, but it's full of sugar.
but yeah, full of
Yeah.
sugar, carbs. Plus, you've got, I mean, probably the most healthy bit of it is the actual burger. Bit of
Once you took
burger.
sugar out.
Yeah, but you've got the bun, which is carbohydrate. You've got the chips, which are carbohydrate. You've got like carbohydrate. But to be honest, I mean, some of the stuff that they put in a diet drink is actually shocking.
Oh,
They're
no, I
really
don't drink diet
carcinogenic.
drinks. Well, I don't drink fizzy much anyway, you
Yeah.
know that. But when they taxed drinks 2, 3 years ago, I can't remember. When they put that sugar tax on drinks, I thought that's a shame because if I'm going to drink a drink, full fat,
I
I
would
don't
never
care.
have a diet Coke, not unless that was the only
But
option.
it's only Coke you can still buy full fat. You try and find a 7 Up of Sprite that's
Oh,
full fat.
yeah,
A Fanta
you
that's full
can't.
fat. You can't. So so you're drawn straight to Coke. And
Yeah,
even without the sugar in, whether it's that horrible stuff in it, it's still high in sugar because Coke has got the most content and also the worst one for your gut.
yeah.
So it's the only one they've left alone, and it's the most probably worst one you
Oh, I
could
do
drink
love a
anyway.
Coke.
But they haven't put sugar tax on sweets and things like that. So I think, but
I think it's because of the fast food industry, isn't it? But I mean,
yeah, but then that's what I'm saying.
they
The
need to look
fast
at the
foods, the
lot
whole
of.
picture is terrible, and
Yeah.
it's easy food. I couldn't access that sort of food when I was a kid.
Mm.
That wasn't around even in my teens.
There was a Wimpy,
That's
and that
it.
was a
That was a
massive
burger
treat.
bar. Yeah.
A KFC. I remember being not too far from a KFC, and that was a mega treat. It was like literally birthdays. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That was it.
it was a treat. And then when I got into my teens, we'd save our dinner money from school and go out there.
Yeah. But
After we'd had a few points at
the
15
Wimpy
years of age.
is probably the one that I can remember sitting in and having a meal in there. and that was a treat. You just didn't do it.
So they've all increased. We all drive into everything, so it's us getting
And
our
everyone wants everything
big
now.
butts out,
Now.
yeah. Oh, let's just drive in. I mean, I've
Excuse me
done it. I've
drinking.
done it with my
Just
children.
drink
I've
coffee.
done it with my grandchildren. But then we go on to that big thing. So while the consumers are hitting us all and everyone's getting bigger and bigger, and then there's more of a rise in diabetes, there's more of a rise in liver fat and liver cirrhosis, which is not always to do with alcohol.
Mm,
It is actually to do with fat around your liver as well. So it can be food or drink that does
mhm.
it. Cholesterol's on the rise, so and then they want to hand out all the statins. Oh yeah, oh look, your cholesterol popped up a little bit. Let's give you a statin.
What actually even is
I
a
don't.
statin?
It's not a very good drug, and we're not going to talk about medical pharmaceutical
Yeah, but
companies this
everyone
week.
talks about statins. I
Just, they give it to you to reduce your cholesterol, but it's
Okay.
really bad and it can give you leg cramps and stuff like that. And I
Mm.
don't care. There's probably doctors going, oh, no, no, no. And all those pharmaceuticals won't be happy.
Oh, of course they
But
won't.
do your research because no one is happy really on a statin. No one.
I would do everything not to go on
Yeah.
any medication. I
Got
mean,
it.
the only medication I'm on is mushroom gummies,
We won't talk about that either.
but they're nice.
But yeah, but then see, I can't have anything like that because I have high blood pressure and that can affect your heart. So you've got to really be careful, even with, like we said before, you can't just take
Mm.
these things. And people are popping gummies, CBD gummies, mushroom gummies,
Are
magnesium
these
gummies. You
do
get, I
recommend?
mean, if I'm going to eat a gummy, it's going to be a proper gummy, a teddy bear gummy. I'm not having nothing in it like
Yeah,
that.
honestly, best thing I've ever done. Take these gummies.
But I can't.
All
I have to
legal.
look at my long-term conditions, and I can't have things like that. They're really
Mm.
bad in the long term, whether they're more healthier anyway. And that's why I don't take a lot of the medical stuff, like statins, when they were suggested to me,
Mm.
because that's not good for me either. So I look at my alternatives, but I do work out what I can and can't do. And the best thing round is go and eat the better food, and actually food, natural food that will
Proper
flush
food.
you out and sort you out.
I'm very lucky though. I have got my lovely Spanish chef living with me.
You have, and I've got
Um,
no one that does that. So it's mummy does
yeah.
everything with two grown boys.
The thing is, I mean, looking back at weight, I think that you have to get to a point in life where you just have to be happy with who you are. Or at least accept who you are. If you're never going to be skinny, you're never going to be skinny. Or sometimes you're skinny and you can't put on any weight. Sometimes you have to accept that. But the only time I worry is if somebody is so overweight that it's going to. I mean, I know somebody that passed away. They were very overweight and it was because of their weight. They had a stroke. They were only the same age as me. And that was that. Basically, they were losing their eyesight because of the diabetes. You know, they were literally going blind. They were seriously unhealthy. And that was only the thing that bothered me. I didn't care if they were 5 stone or
No, but then,
25
like I
stone.
said, I've got a friend. She's on the injection at the moment, and she's done it the right way. She's always quite big as a child, but obviously, I get that when you get bigger, that's uncomfortable. So I get that. But she was much healthier and fitter than me.
As a child
No,
or in life?
in adult in general, because especially when I obviously had damaged my leg, I was less fit because I couldn't do the things I used to do.
Mm.
I mean, I liked walking, but fibromyalgia sort of put a little bit of a taint on that, and I had to sort of reduce my activity. But you can have big people that are really fit and slim people that really are not.
Oh, yeah, I'm not.
Because it's what's going on in your body,
Yeah.
and that is your genetic DNA makeup. That doesn't matter what size you are on the outside of your shell. The inside is still where the problems lay there.
Mm.
If you got massively overweight, like you see these people where they can't leave the house no more and they can't get out of the house or they can't get out of the bed, then that's dangerous because of the pressure on your heart.
See, that worries me
Yeah,
when I've watched things like that.
That's a whole different thing, and that goes on to the mental health route because
Oh,
you know
absolutely,
that.
yeah.
So obviously, let's say it because this is where this was going to go anyway. Every man and his dog and woman, not being
Every
sexist,
person.
is taking the Manjaro slimming injection, and I say everyone, we're not.
No, I'm
Laura and
not.
Hardy,
I never would.
Laura and Hardy are not. And oh, couldn't I go and do it if I wanted to get back into some of my lovely old clothes that's still hanging there going, oh, Jean, one day you'll be back on. But being a vitamin technician, being someone that works with needles, being someone that does diet and nutrition and knows the background, I know that is not 100% safe.
Mm.
I also know, like with any quick diet fix, as soon as you stop, bang, it comes back on.
Mm.
So it's not the answer because if anyone is struggling with their weight and it's going up and down, or you're yo-yo dieting, or you're dieting all your life and whatever else, then you have an emotional problem going on, and it's the brain that you need to reprogram. And that's why you see these life coaches when they do that.
Mhm.
You need to find out why you eat the way you do, or why you do the things you do, and work out what triggers it and deal with that. then you'd notice the weight drop off. I mean, I know mine's emotional. Mine's stress. Stress in my life, and I can't seem to get rid of it. It's always there. Can literally send me through the roof. And then I'm so exhausted after I've dealt with everybody. I'll then sit down and I'll go and eat a bag of Revels.
I miss
And a bag
Rebels.
of
I can't
Revels
eat
every
anything like that.
day is not, I mean, I'm not having it every day because it depends if one of them got a shop for me. But that's my go-to now. It,
Mm.
it used to be more than that. I used to eat cakes and biscuits and stuff, but it's not really that unless it's there. And you know, I was well, I didn't really eat anything massively, even though we had lots of little treats in there. I pick at things now, so I shouldn't be
You
overweight.
weren't. I mean, yeah. I mean, looking back,
I can't even eat a whole meal.
I don't pick at much unless I'm starving, in which case I wouldn't just pick at a bag of crisps. I'd eat the whole family pack. You know what I mean? That would be me.
So I've had a
But
bit of an aversion to them lately, but I've seemed to have changed my taste buds, and I seem to be craving salt. So
salt,
that's a
yeah,
bit of a
mid-time for
that's a bit
me.
of a worry, and I might have to look into that. But I just think all these injections. I mean, I laugh now. I go in the hairdressers. Everyone's on it. Everyone's talking about it. I went out with some friends the other week. Majority are on it. Weren't some I knew most of them, but they were actually friends of my friend. And the only two that wasn't on it was me and my friend. And you knew I wasn't on it
Yeah.
because I was definitely the biggest one out there. And I just laughed because I thought, yeah, it looks great. But also, I spoke to someone in the week, well, Monday, and they've been on it. And I think they're starting to look a bit gaunt. And then they've told me they're having some problems. And they're
Mm.
only young. And I've said then, I said, look, you know what I think about all this? I'm not going to, teach you to suck eggs. And I'm not going to go, I told you so.
Well, they're adults at the end of the
But
day.
have you
I
sort of
think
now thought that this condition that's going on has come? And she said, yeah, I have, and I've stopped it. I've stopped
what
this.
she's
And she
got
stopped.
medical
She stopped. Yeah,
conditions.
she stopped the injection,
Yeah.
and that is coming out more and more. And they're doing. I watch a lot. I don't watch a lot of the telly, the mainstream TV, because we don't trust it. But the panoramas, if they ever have one on the weight loss injection or anything to do with injections, I watch it because I obviously work with needles and I like to see what's what. But we all know that's doctors messed
Mm.
around with anyway. Sorry, but it's true. But I watch them out of interest because of how much is on the black market. And like I said before, my vitamins, I get a client for vitamin injection. I could get as far as doing the consultation and then they go, no, I've got it somewhere cheaper because they bought it off the internet.
That
And
drives me
that's
mad. I
going
don't
on.
even do it.
That's going on those weight loss. So
Because, I mean, who knows what you're buying? I mean, you get it through
I've got a doctor. Yeah, I'm a
doctor that's
prescriber.
a
Yeah.
prescriber. But, so you know that
Well, by law, I'm not allowed to advertise, so I can't put any social media out showing a needle, calling it an injection, or advertising I am a vitamin therapist
mm,
technician, because you are not under the medical regulations allowed to do so. So when you see those social media posts, they're already in breach, and you could
but
report
what
them.
about the ones that, like in some of the salons? And I mean, to be fair, I mean, some of them might not be just doing it for a quick fix. They might genuinely believe in it and not know what they're doing, if that
Well,
makes sense.
money drives people, and if
But
it's cheaper, they're going to go there. But I've
no,
always
what I
gone
mean
with
is
my health.
the people that are doing these and they've had like a 5-minute course and then
Oh
they're,
yeah, yeah.
I do not like that.
Well,
Not at
again,
all.
I'm not a qualified nurse, but I was trained by a nurse. So all my training was done by a qualified medical nurse, and all my
Mm,
prescriptions go through a qualified GP,
yeah.
well, prescriber.
So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to
Yeah.
go to somebody like
But
you.
I'm not an academy myself, and I'm not a trainer. And for me to go and be actually, and that's why I want the government to hurry up and change the law, because at the moment, if you're on a level 3 beauty therapy certificate, you can go and use a needle. But they want it to be a level 5, and they're going to make it
Worrying.
harder, and it's going to cost a lot of money. But in some ways,
Mm,
I wish they would,
yeah.
because it has stopped people that go and do a 5 minute. And it isn't hard to inject. You've seen it. It's not hard. You've only got to show someone you know how to do it. But it's all what comes with it, and you need to know if something goes wrong. Or like when someone got an EpiPen out once, and I went, "You didn't put that on your consultation."
Yeah, well, that would be
And obviously, I can cannulate, I can take bloods. Again, that's not. Oh yeah, that's easy. It's not easy. Got to do it right at the right blood cannulation. You've got to get it in just right. Undo the time. There's a lot more involved. And if you're a little bit slap happy with your training, well, God help you. But anyway,
Yeah, but it's a worrying world. I
but
mean,
even that, people go on these IV drips because they think if they go on a detox drip, which I do, but to be honest, I'm qualified to do it. I don't actually
mm,
advertise and have never done one. So that, apart from in training, they think they're going to drop a stain if they have that. But it'll make them clear out for a bit. But it's a quick
have a
fix.
good
It's not.
poo.
You'd have to have one of them once a week that's why the celebrities were having them in their house, because if they'd had a heavy weekend, oh, darlings, no paparazzi, not that. Like me at
That's
the
you at the
weekend.
weekend, yeah, with your
That's me with
glasses
dark
on.
sunglasses. I was going, no, no photography, please. But yeah, you could go and do that, buzzing around. You'll be out doing the next thing. But it's quick
Mm,
fixes, and I think the Manjaro and any other weight loss injection is quick fixes. And I think any quick yo-yo diet is it's all quick fixes.
yeah.
Even when you do things like Herbalife, Slim Fast,
Again, well, they're not real life, are they? I mean, they will help you drop some weight.
they're good starting things for
Yeah.
people that are struggling, but you must sort your psychological, emotional stuff out in your head
Mm,
to continue down that route. Still, I went to Slim and Well a few years ago, and that was mainly to just get a little bit of weight off, not like I am now. But I actually maintained some of the food recipes, twisted them to my own because I do like a cook, and I
mm.
still cook. Even family meals, even when friends have come around, I've cooked Slim and World based meals and then just added bits to it, because some of the recipes they do,
Lard.
oh yeah, lard, fat, get it in there. But some of the recipes are quite good. You just need a little bit more flavour in them, and they are more based on your protein. And actually,
Mm,
that's what it goes back to. You need to make, the old diet plate where you should have your protein, your carbs, and then your veg. That's a little bit old out as well, if I've got to be truthful. It's
mm.
good in a nutritional way, but I think it's changing. You need to find out what works best with your body. Do your carbs and protein in a good balance, but you must get more of those coloured things on your plate in general.
Smarties.
No. But
M&M's.
even when I was having my gastro surgery, when someone very rudely said, "Oh, if you had a gastric bang," because I dropped a stone and a half
Oh,
for the
yeah.
surgery,
On
because
your
I
milk
had
diet.
to. I was on the milk diet. Another
Whoops.
quick fix. It was to have quite.
But
Well, it
I
was because
guess it was.
I dropped it in a
Oh, because
week.
you had to lose that weight.
So if you want to lose weight, do milk for 3 days and you'll definitely lose it. But I had to do it to
I'll
lose
be like,
weight for them to get around my organs and obviously move my liver out of the way, because that was quite dangerous surgery. And also,
mm.
I didn't have I had a gastric problem, but it was a little bit more serious than losing weight. And yeah, I kept that weight off for a bit, but once I weaned food back in because I couldn't swallow, because my esophagus had obviously had stitches. I had to wean it in, but bit by bit, I sucked that chocolate and got it back in my mouth. Don't you worry about that. So it shows it's still emotional. And it shows the reason I dropped it so quickly is because I was on an NHS planned diet to have surgery. And if I didn't follow it, I was putting my life at risk.
Mm.
So of course I did it. But it was a quick fix for them to do the operation. It was never a quick fix to stay slim unless
Yeah.
I changed my diet habits. So it shows that
Yeah,
everyone
it
has to
is.
change their habits.
But I think we have, like I said earlier, we've got to start thinking about what's real. I mean, there's so much in the media, isn't there? So many, all these models and everything. But even on advertising, and I know they're better at it now because there is larger, especially with Tesco adverts and things like that, they do have larger models, don't they? Made a point
Don't
of it.
really pay a lot of attention. I think some of the
Places like
clothing
that.
companies, like Simply Be, River Island, started showing bigger models, but that sort of stopped because you try and find a petite pair of trousers. Now you can't, because I'm
But,
only a little shorty. But I don't think there's still enough out there showing
oh,
larger
no. No,
models.
yeah, that's what we need. Like people, singers, and I know there is, like Adele,
Well,
she
there was
was
the
larger and then
Dennis
she's not.
Roussos back in the day, back in the
Yeah.
70s. He used to wear a dress. Pavarotti, he was big.
Yeah, but he's not a singer that's sort of
Paul Potts was
accepted.
big when he did it, but then
Yeah, but
lost
it's
weight.
like you saw that.
I mean, I could probably do it with a stretch and I'm a celebrity to get me out of here just to lose the weight, but I'd literally die at the sign of the first spider.
Oh God, no.
Actually, no, jumping out the helicopter
Having
because I
something
can't
like
do
round
heights.
my head, or like, I mean, to be honest, I'd rather have a snake round my head.
Yeah,
than I would.
I'd cope better with the snake.
Yeah,
I have had a snake. I've even had an alligator. Them I can cope with. I like big
yeah.
and dangerous. Do not put a spider near
But a
me.
lot of them come out there like losing a ton of weight, don't
Yeah,
they?
that's what I looked at and thought, what, that's probably what I could do with. But I wouldn't even be able to jump out the bloody helicopter. I'm scared of heights. I'd pass
Ruin
out.
your
I'd
legs
probably have a
once
heart
you're
attack
down.
with my high blood pressure. So that'd be a no anyway. Go near Jane, you can't go in there. I'd be the one that arrived in a car. No one sees me arrive, and I just walk into camp and they go, Jane's ruled out of this task for
I know.
health reasons. They'd be like,
On
oh,
all of
God,
them.
I really
On every single one.
And then I'd be going, I really hate that, Jane.
And they should win.
Yeah, because I'd do all the tasks and I couldn't do the one underground being buried actually because I don't
Oh,
like,
no.
oh no. Even though we talk to dead people, that'd be a bit, oh no.
No,
But again, you'd lose weight in there, wouldn't you? Because if
that.
you was under there for a while and didn't get fed, that'd probably be handy, wouldn't it? So,
Yeah, as long as you weren't like totally buried.
but no, we shouldn't joke about weight because
But
we
you should
know,
a little
we
bit,
should, but we
because
should.
I think it
Well, but I
needs to
think
be
it's because people joke that and sometimes it can be seen as malicious. That's why people become conscious. I remember, and I was telling you this the other week when I said when my second husband went, can't remember his name, it's been so long, but anyway, my dad went, "Is he having an affair?" And I went, "Well, he says he's not." My dad went, "If he's having an affair, I think I'd know because we always had affairs." And I went, "Well, I think he is, but he's saying he's not." And my dad's going, "I don't think he is." And then he looked at me and went, "But the thing is, Jane, you have put a bit of weight on." Because my
That's
dad
where
would
we're at
either
war,
call
isn't it?
you our kid or for us, it was our name. So it was our Jane, our David. And then I went, "Cheers, Dad." And then my brother said, "I can't believe he's done this." We all thought we loved him as a fan. I mean, I've been with him over 13 years in a relationship, known him
Mm.
20. And he went, "Is it because you put a bit of weight on, Jane, though? Because you are a bit fat, and yeah." Because my brother doesn't mince his words. He really doesn't. He'd go, "Cool, you put some weight on." Even as a teenager, he used to play Fat Bottom Girl by Queen to me to insult me, and I want him big. Like I said, I was a size 8 or 10, so I wanted exactly big. But so
Already
is it
traumatized.
because so my brother, from a young age, put into me that he would take the mick and say I was big when I wasn't. And my dad had this massive thing like, "Oh, even when I wasn't with anyone in between, he'd go, 'You want to get that bit of weight, that bit of chub off her, Jane, because you won't get a man like that.'"
Mm.
So men in particular are quite particular about weight, I think, and then women become more conscious of it. But then there are men that
I
worry about their
I
weight.
I think it's different because I mean I've seen skinny men with larger ladies and vice versa. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah.
Relationships, as long as you love each other, it really doesn't matter. It does, and we're going to have to come to an end
I
of
don't
it.
mean in a relationship. I mean the way men and women think.
Yeah,
Not necessarily
maybe.
your partner, but look at others.
But I think, well, so many people are just so judgmental about this, that, and the other. I think you have just got to get to a point where, do you know what you think? Sod it. You know, I'm me. I'm happy. Why am I trying to worry about what everyone else thinks about me? You know what I mean? Or why can't I just wear what I want? Whether I,
In waistband.
I would still be conscious, like you said. I'm about a size 10. Was about a size 6 when I lost all that weight. Not any, fault of my own. So I was very thin. But now I'm thinking, okay, well that fits. That looks nice. I feel good in this. So I'm happy. You know what I mean? But I might be a little bit more conscious if I took my clothes off, for example.
Oh, I
Like,
don't like myself with my clothes off, no.
yeah, but actually, does it all matter? You've had
Well,
children.
yeah, that's what I tell
I've got
myself.
I've had children. We've both had 3 children. So, after 3 kids, after 1 kid, bet your body's not going to look like
No,
it did.
and I think if I sat down and I had to sit with my legs apart, but excuse me, mind you, and you
Yeah,
and you can't get your legs together and they're tight.
don't sit with
Or
your
if
legs
I
apart.
sat now and my clothes were cutting into me, which I've done when I've been slim, because you always try and make them a bit tighter. I can't do that no more. So when I'm sitting, I'm comfortable.
Mm,
And the day that I sit and go, I'm not comfortable, that means I've gone up another size. Then I mean, I'm 16, a very average 16. It's my boobs that get in the way because
mm.
they've always been big. I can't do much about that. But I'm a comfortable 16, a good size 16 in majority of high street shops. Some vary if the sips in the stuff, then I'm a bit tricky. But again, I'm curvy.
Mm.
I've got big boobs, and so that's hard.
She has, they come in.
But they walk in the door before I do. But that's where I always notice
So,
when
all right, Jane.
I always notice when I've lost weight, because that's the first place they just go down slightly. They just drop a cup. They don't drop anything else, just a cup. But yeah, so I think it's way you feel in yourself is definitely right. But I
Mm,
do think there's too much onus on it. I do think with pending Christmas parties that have already probably already started,
mm, mm.
because everyone likes to get their Christmas parties in early. If you can't get into that black dress, red dress, whatever the theme is for your do,
Buy a new one.
go up a size. Do you know what? I
Yeah.
cut the label out because no size is right. I worked in retail for years. No sizing is real now. In the old days, it was real. It's not real now.
It's
God,
different in every shop you
yeah,
go
it's
in.
different. Go and buy what you look good in and buy it. Who cares? It's a size up. Be comfortable. Eat what you want. Drink what you want. As long as it's safe. As long as you're eating and drinking
Mm,
safe. Get yourself through Christmas. And if you want to do a bit of a diet in the new year, go and see a PT or proper nutrition, or to follow a proper, safe, healthy plan, a real proper
mm.
plan, run under the British Heart Foundation or something like that, one that shows you how to eat your foods properly and how each bit of food actually complements and helps the other one do the process
Yeah,
of
yeah.
losing weight and building up your
You
metabolism.
you if you don't do it properly, basically, it's not gonna
Yeah,
work.
don't go or eat all this until New Year's Eve. Get New Year's Eve out of the way and then I'm going to go on the Manjaro. Don't do it, because you're not thinking up here. You're not using this and
You've got your
yeah,
McDonald's brain on, trying to drive through something rather than do the hard
yeah.
work and look at making yourself happier, healthier. And that's at the end of the day what needs to that matters is being happy and healthy. Doesn't matter if you're size 16 and healthy, doesn't matter if you're size 8 and healthy, doesn't matter if you're size 6 and healthy. You are what you are, but just look after your health because
Yeah.
that's what matters at the end of the day.
Bit of daylight, bit of fresh air, keep your lungs working lovely. I can say that because mine weren't earlier in the year. And just, eat nice. I mean, don't not eat naughty things. Eat it, but just eat it in moderation and start wondering why you might be eating. It could be your mental health, it could be emotional
Mm.
trauma, it could be something's going on in the family. It is a go-to for so many people. But just enjoy your Christmas parties and try not to be roped in, sucked in by all this media coverage at the moment on all these diet injections because they're really not going to help you in the long run. Fear is better than being overweight.
Absolutely.
On that note,
I knew you were going to say that. How psychic am I?
because we are psychics, we have had a long weekend of being psychics.
We have, but we're also extremely tired still.
Extremely tired psychics from the spirit retreat we went to, but we had extremely good fun, didn't
Oh,
we?
we did.
Even if I had to table chair dance a lot because
A
my
lot of
legs
it.
don't work, I was doing that. But yeah, we did have good fun and we played bingo and we had to get a canal boat though, didn't we? Because it was flooded.
Oh, God, it was.
So we drove a lot around
Mm.
the campsite because we couldn't actually swim through it, could we? Good job I
No.
got a big car.
Jane taught me how to drive her car so I could drive them
Yeah.
to the clubhouse and back.
Shame we didn't teach the man that hit me as we arrived nearly back home. I got hit by another driver in his pajamas. But hey ho, there I was again, a beacon for everyone to come and hit my
I
car.
know.
But we got home safely until he.
It's big enough and I can't see how people can't see it.
Well, I think his awareness was probably not quite right by his age and these pajamas. But we won't talk about that because it's hopefully sorted. I explained to him, didn't I, the rules
Mm.
of the road and why he was wrong. So let's see what happens from there.
We will.
But on that note, we will see you next week. And
With
it's bye for now. Bye from her and it's bye from me.